All right, 11th of May. Let's take a look at the market. Now, guys, yesterday these were the astro hours. You can see how beautifully it all worked out. The weekly pivot is here. I talked about the gap here. We said we'd marked in this level. So this worked out really, really good. Going all the way into that target. Remember, we marked in that level beforehand. And then the market exactly at the astro hour. You can't get any better than this. Comes down at the astro hour, starts going up, and then I said it would flow into Asia. It certainly has done so in that direction. So that's all good. And let's take a look at today. Now, on gold, we're looking at gold at the moment. That's your first support of the day. All right, so you can see there's the market like kind of going down. We're supposed to come down, okay? So selling from the tops is what we're doing, as you know. And we talked about that 72 level, that 2055 level is still hot over there. So I'm going to extend this till the end of today. Whoopsie daisy. There. All right. And the first astro hours are here today, as you can see, right? So this is not a bad spot. As you can see, this is where the market took off, broke up into that place there. So that's one level. The weekly pivot has already been done on numerous occasions, and they've kind of like swiped people out here, as you can see. So what to do? Let's take a look. We could do the, we don't need to do that. That's the Asia low. And pretty much here. This level is not bad. We can mark this in. Okay, and let's just see how this pans out today. We've still got time for astro hours. Here, as you can see, they're starting at 10 o'clock here. All right, so we'll see how this pans out, but we've got a few hours here, so be mindful here. The weekly pivot is sensitive as usual, not to mention the daily zone. Why? Because if anybody wants to buy, they want to buy it cheap, and the place to do that is down here, just like they did yesterday. See how the market came down, bought up. So if it comes down, we want to go up in that direction. Okay, so that's all good. So look at that. Even if you yesterday, see how dangerous that was. So if you don't know financial astrology, I mean, you're just gonna get wasted. So it's great to know these hours in advance so you can trade. Okay, there you go. So that's that with gold. If it pulls down here onto that daily PST level, we could go down. Now on the weekly, that's 68, which is 2016. So this 2016 zone is the weekly. So this zone is going to be critical. Okay, because if it breaks below this level, then it's definitely downhill, and we need to sell on the pullback. Okay, on the retracement, and then we'll need to come into this zone here. And that's fine. So what can you do? Well, this is an astro zone at the moment, so this is a place where the market, I would wait for the market to come to this 12 o'clock one. Okay, let it come to that 12 o'clock, and then see how things pan out. So this zone is going to be interesting, and then that zone there. All right. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Same with the euro dollar. Look how beautiful that was. Market comes to the low of Asia right at the astro hour. Beautiful pull up. Look at the astro hour. Nearly makes that zone, but the astro hour is enough to send it back down to the next astro hour, right to the white line. Daily pivot white line zone, and then you buy to the next astro hour in Asia. There you go, and then a whopping down. I mean, that's just amazing. Let's take a look at the daily. Now what? Now remember, I talked about this line yesterday here. The market pretty much did so. Look, right on the red line yesterday. Okay, and that red line was pretty much up there. Okay, there. Okay, so just slightly under it went down. So that's all good. What to do? We should come down. Where to? 38. 38.93, which is 1.0892. 0883. Remember those levels we marked in yesterday. Okay, 1.09 03 is down there. 0883 is about down there. Okay, so we should keep coming down. What to do? Today the market should push up in order to sell again. Okay, it should do that. Two places it could do that. Let me now get rid of this and this. Now that's one level there. Let's extend that. If it does, fine. The other one is, yeah, it should be above that. Let me just refresh this so we get the daily pivot up and running. So if it comes back into the opening daily pivot, you should go down again. This should push up for a retracement, probably into that zone there, into the daily pivot, the white opening line again, or the high of Asia to be retested and then sold off. So this zone is what you're looking at, okay, at Astro hours, and this is like all good. Okay, very nice, very nice indeed. And remember, we talked about the goodbye kiss and the red line, so coming all the way back down into these levels like I said. Okay, so just need to make a little bit of an adjustment here, and you can see it's just sizzling down. How nice is that? How nice is that? On the weekly, yeah, we got way down to go. So on the pull-ups, you'll want to go down. I marked this level in here, as you know. The market will want to come back into this zone, and that's basically it. Let's take a look at the US 30. All right, so here we are. Now, yesterday I said I was a bit awkward with this because of the breakouts. I was like, oh, crikey, leave this alone maybe. Okay, and look what happened. We're right on the line again, and the market has been really indecisive. You see it spiked up, spiked down. Look at that, spike up, spike down. But the beauty is, if you know financial astrology, well, spike up, spike down, spike up, and la la la. All right, so everything worked out perfectly fine, as you can see. Another amazing financial astrology setup. So there you go. This thing works like a charm, as you can see. So US 30, what to do with it today? Let's get our pricing right again. So the market is a bit indecisive, and that's fine. This is why yesterday I said it's a bit dodgy, but no problemo. So what we're going to do is, Mars also moved into Cancer yesterday. So, you know, let's see how that pans out on the markets. It should, well, we want to be sellers anyway, all right? So from the tops, I've been urging you to sell. So what we can do today is sell again if the market comes down. Sorry, goes up first in order to come down. So what we want to do is wait for the market. Two places, well, you want to wait for the gap to close up. So, okay, this is going to be your zone. If the market does come up in the New York session, you can definitely do that. Sell it off at the Astro hours, as you can see. On the day, let me just put that back on the daily. Yeah, look, this purple zone, I talked about it before. It did it Monday, it did it Wednesday. Today is Thursday. If we go up again, we want to push down, but I did say this is tricky. Let's take a look at 46. That's a price of 33,448. That's going to be the support for today. 33,448. 33,448 is there. So that's the support for today. All right. So anything below that, which is probably going to likely to break, I would be selling at the highs as well. Mars going into Cancer, it's just going to be soggy. Okay, so selling from the highs I think is not a bad idea. On the weekly, that level is going to be a bit too far out, which is 34,172, which is way out there. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that unless we break above that. Okay, for me, that's basically too far out. Now, if you take a look at your Monday, remember on Monday, okay, which was the 8th, remember what we talked about, Dow Jones. Wednesday was a swing day, I said, all right. So where are we? We're at the top and a bottom. See how crazy that is? It's done a top and a bottom, so this could, you know, pretty much go both ways. Unless it breaks above there, we don't want to be thinking about 3, 4, 1, 7, 2. Okay, if it breaks above that, this is what we can aim for. But today's Thursday, so we'll have to wait and check it out. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, in the US session, we're going to have a good opportunity, and we could have that opportunity either at the opening or a few hours after that as well. All right, so you can look out for that on the indices. Let's take a look at S&P 500, NASDAQ, Bitcoin. All right, SP 500. Now remember, these were the Astro hours for yesterday as well. Mark them in nice and easy. 11:30 in the morning. Remember, we had 10:30, 11:30, and we marked in the zones. So the market comes to the zone, spikes up at the Astro hour. The Astro hour ends 3:45. Remember, we had 10 past 3 to 3:45. So this is 3:45, and this is 10 past 3 happening on this bar. And then the market just bang up. Boom. They sell right from the target zone, slightly under it, bring it all the way down into the Astro hour at 8:30. Remember, we had 7:45 to 8:30. The market comes right back into this zone, goes all the way back up, and I said it should flow in towards Asia, 3 a.m. And that's your 3 a.m. and that's your... Okay, this is yesterday, right? So this is what I gave you guys yesterday. And that should have been just perfect. All good. So this is technical analysis with financial astrology. All right. Now what to do today? Let's take a look. Now, just like with the Dow Jones, I said this is tricky because of the breakout. Okay. So that was like dodgy, and same again with, and this was the PST level with the purple zone. Why? Because I said it's going to fill in the gap. There you go. Fills in. What does that tell you? It tells you it's swiping the stops out, going up nice and easy, no problem. Now what? Today, you see that's all the way back up there. It's crazy now. This is still going to be your zone. All right, that's that. This is still your sell zone here. Okay, in fact, we'll take this there. We're still in that sell zone, but the market is broken out. So we've got to be really, really careful. Okay, really careful to sit and wait it out a little bit. Don't rush it. This is why I said with the Dow Jones as well, do not rush it. Let's mark this in because this has got room to come up. Okay, remember, there's a gap to fill up there. It's marked in. In fact, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this. Let me just get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm just going to put this. Just note this purple zone here. All right, so I'm going to mark that in because that's a level to target before stuff hit the fan. Now, these 3 lines up here, they're not your regular trend lines, remember? They're not touching any other top. Normally when we do technical analysis, we do top to top, and that's fine. But these are astro lines. This is an astrological technical analysis trend line. See how they're coming on this zone, and I will be laughing if it hits these zones and then falls down. Okay, so this is why going up and down is going to be an option. Playing both sides of the market when price matches time is your safest way to go. These are pre-noted swing days that I marked in before. So let's go in. SP 500, you see, we've got those levels up there. Now that purple zone, as you can see, is 4,210. Okay, and it's going to start around there, that 4,210. In fact, I'm going to just do this. it should be above that and below that. And that is there, and that is there. Okay. So we'll see how that pans out, but we have to be careful about this, okay? But once it gets up here, you got to be selling heavy, okay? If it does get up here, this is the place where we're going to be selling heavy, and then it'll be 1, 2, 3 tap, and this is sell heavy zone, all right? And then we should like flow down for a month or so, okay? So be mindful about that one. If it comes back down into the weekly or down here again, there'll be an opportunity to go long as well. Okay, so selling the tops, buying the lows, they're both an option here, and there's not much we can do. We've got to do both. Now this zone, I'm just gonna get rid of this on the SP 500. A lot of people trade the SP 500, so this is one zone. All right, that's that. And the Astro hours for today are going to be, first of all, coming to that 10 o'clock right there. Okay, and that's your 10 o'clock right there. Okay, and then it should probably go higher into 11, and then it should, if you're going to look for a turn, you got to wait for the noon one around 12. Okay, so that should be there. Okay, and then 216 is going to be there. 330 is going to be there. It's actually 320. Okay, but this is a 15-minute chart. You can do it on a 5-minute, whatever. Okay, and then you got your 345 right in there, and this is New York opening 415. This is where the action Jackson's going to happen. We're going to have a disruptive move into here. All right, so after this we should have some disruption in the market. All right, so be smart, wait for that 415 to be over. Okay, and then your next zone is exactly where you want to start trading. 6:45, which is my time, obviously, right? This, as you know. All right, so wait a minute. That's that there. $6.45 there. Okay, and then you got the close in the market should close, should come to a target by closing time. Okay, there. And that's that. Okay, so be mindful. Any pullback, you can go long again on the daily, the weekly. Okay, be mindful for any sweep around here and around here. Okay, which will bring you down. But also these levels are good to go up. If it breaks above that high, any pullback into your Astro, you want to go back up again. Okay, let's take a look at NASDAQ. There's your NASDAQ yesterday, Astro hours. Look at that. That's just whopper. Boom, boom, going in there. That's an Astro hour. Beautiful push up. Look at that. Bang. Comes back for a retest. Fills in the whole thing. That's your demand zone. Once again, your blue line, your white line is there. Now I can get rid of this, because now it's going to be this here, which is fine. Okay, once again, just put your Astro hours on there, okay, and see how you pan it out. But this is how it's supposed to pan out. Let's take a look at our PST levels. On the weekly, you see we're breaching it, okay? So that breach is now important because it's pretty bullish. And now, which actually also confirm, oh, look at that breakout as well. Same thing on the Dow and the SP 500. So look out for those up moves. And remember, Wednesday was a Dow Jones swing, so the low it made yesterday could well be the low that's going up. But look what I said would happen. As you can see here, I said we got the gap to fill in. Okay, and look what happened right on the line there. Perfect. Okay, perfect. This is just awesome. Okay, this is just awesome. All right, so this zone is still going to be a sell zone for us. No doubt about it. Okay, no doubt about it. So that's that. What you can do is now this. Keep this in mind. And that's your manipulation zone and your double top zone there. And that's basically it. That's perfect, guys. Right in there. Okay, so looking to sell from the highs is an option, but be careful. You might want to do that next week. You don't have to rush the trade this week. You just don't have to. So you can chill out and relax, because this zone is a sell zone, as you can see. Coming back up into this zone, looking for a sell position to go all the way back down is not a bad idea. A lot of liquidity down here. A lot of liquidity. Okay, so looking to go back down is not a bad idea. On the weekly, what do we got here? It's that zone. Yeah, it's not a bad idea at all. Later on, it will go up. Okay, later on in the future, we will go back up. Okay, but that's going to be later. All right, that's going to be later. So that's basically how things should be panning out for us. So the highs are good. And this is where we should focus on at the moment. Okay. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I talked about these. No big deal. Okay, if you sold off, if you sold the highs, I did say you can sell the highs. At Astro Hours, I said you could sell the highs as well. Let's see what that was. That's 350. Remember, we had 345. That was 345 bar happening there. Okay, and then we had 645, right? 645 to 745. That's your 645. Well, 645 is here really, and 745. 745 bar is there, and then a whopper, as you can see, going all the way into that target. Nice and easy. Remember, I said I'm expecting the market to come down. I said this should break. No surprises here. Okay. If you bought yesterday to go up as well, you should have been okay in the morning. Because in the morning, that's your 11 o'clock. Remember, I said 10:30. This is your 10:30 here. From 10:30 to 11:30. If you bought 10:30 to 11:30, then you would have had a good run up for a day trade and then sell it off again. And if that's not Astro Hours, I don't know what is. So what to do? Well, once again, same thing. If you're hodling, I suggest you wait, because this is going to come down to 24,300 for sure. 24,500, 700, 300, this zone. We should come down here. All right. In fact, I would lower this into this zone there. If you want to be prudent, you can take the whole lot here. But I suspect we should be coming down. We're going to, in fact, break this as well. It should break down. You see, I've got levels down here. We should come down. It's not a joke. So selling the highs is a good idea. You got head and shoulders here. This should break down and come into that zone. Think about it. Head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Break down, pull up, sell again down here. And then if we start waving down, we should come down into that zone, back into the 20s, even the 15s. You never know. But this is a level, it will come to check, you will see. Okay, it will come to see. All right, so I said this would break down, so no rush, relax. If it goes back up, you can sell it off again. Okay, where to sell it off? Now I can get rid of this. Oh, where to sell it off? Let's get rid of that. I'm going to extend this in any case. Why? Weekly pivot is always good to extend. But where can you sell off again? Here. Okay, the opening, that's one level. And obviously up here where you got the gap, right? So look, you got to be smart about this because there's the gap here which could take all the way into there. So so the market should tap into this zone. All right. If you want to sell at Astro Hours, this is the zone you got to do that. These are the zones. It should fill in this. Also, this black level too. This is going to be too big. All right. So take it easy. Wait for a confirmation on the small time frame.